Hi everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to another video for SimonsStamp.com. Today I'm going to be showing you some inspiration using the April 2019 card kit. This is the Hello Darling stamp set that's included in the kit. And I'm going to be using 3 different colors of green ink from Simon for today's cards. Since today, the day that this video is going up on YouTube and on the Simon blog, is St. Patrick's Day, I thought it was very fitting to use shades of green. So I'm starting out with the Hello Spring Leaf stamped image, and I'm using the color Green Apple. This is the lightest and brightest of the 3 colors of green ink that I'm using today. And I'm using a MISTI stamp positioning tool just in case I need to stamp one of these twice to get a really solid impression. Turns out that I probably could have just used a regular stamping block because these stamps stamped beautifully with the Simon ink, nice and solid. So moving on to the next darkest color, which is green leaf. And I'm going to be using green leaf and olive to stamp some additional leaves around this center Hello Spring leaf. So these other 2 leaves are from the stamp set, and I'm going to just alternate what colors I use. And this olive color looks very, very dark. But if you've ever used the Simons Stamp inks before, you'll probably know that as they dry, they tend to fade back just a little bit. So that olive color will be a little bit lighter eventually. I also wanted to show that the little single leaf on this particular spot, I put the stems together and it made it look like a 2-leafed sprig of leaves. So I stamped all around, filling in all of those gaps. These leaves are great. They nestle in together and give a really solid pattern for the background. So that's the basic design of this card, super easy and quick. And I'm going to move on to a second card since I have the stamp set out and all these fun inks. For this second card, I'm going to be using kind of a rainbow stamping technique. However, it's not going to be a rainbow color combination since I'm just using 3 green shades. Starting out with green apple, and you'll notice I only inked up the top corner of this stamp, and then I'm taking a paper towel and dabbing off some of that color as it comes to the center of the stamp. That's going to fade out that color just a little bit, and then I'll be able to fade it into the next ink that I'm going to use. I'm also making sure that I'm nestling that paper down into the corner of my MISTI stamp positioning tool because I want to make sure that I stamp this image in the exact same spot over and over. So now I've got green leaf and I just inked up the entire stamped image, and then I'm taking my paper towel and wiping off the color in those 2 diagonal corners so that it takes away some of that ink, and that will allow me to add a darker ink in the bottom corner. So now I'm inking up that bottom corner in olive, and I'm going to take my paper towel and dab off some of that color right at the line where the colors will be transitioning, and then I'll stamp it a 3rd time. And this gives me a really fun transition from a brighter green down to a darker green, and as these dry back, they'll fade and kind of mix in with each other even more. So after everything was dry, I took them to my paper trimmer. This is a tonic paper trimmer, and I trimmed them down to be slightly smaller than the size of a standard card. This Hello Darling one is specifically lots smaller. And then I used some pattern paper from the kit and cut that to the exact size of a card. I'm using some white cardstock to create my 2 card bases and scoring those at 5.5. One's going to be a portrait card and the other will be landscape. And then I used some tape runner adhesive. This is the extreme adhesive from Tombow. And I adhered my pattern paper directly to the front of my card. Then I put some foam adhesive behind the Hello Darling piece and put that right on top. To finish off the other card, it's just as simple as putting some foam adhesive behind that stamped piece and putting it directly onto the card front. So those are the 2 cards today using stamps and some paper from the April 2019 card kit. I hope you guys will check out the card kit over at SimonsStamp.com, and I'll see you in another video very soon.